and the first update on President's executive order. And August 8th, President Trump signed in a executive order. There's 4 items on the order I really like you to know, and also give you an update on each one of them. The first one is unemployment benefit, and you probably heard of about the $400. The $400 weekly, that's supposed to come in. First of all, I want you to know that that dollar is coming from FEMA, from Federal Emergency Management Agency. So each state has to go to apply for that, get approved, so they can get that $300 out of the $400. And the other $100, that is the state match. It's kind of like the state resources to put in 100, the federal FEMA put in another 300. This gives you the jobless assistance program. It's called a jobless assistance program. And the state, like I said here, and the state must apply through FEMA. 35 states had already received the approval, and that number is correct as of this morning. But as of from last night, these are the states and have not received the approval yet. Delaware, Florida, Hawaii, Illinois, those are the Midwest state, and I care. And Kansas, Minnesota, Nebraska, Nevada, and then New Jersey, and North Dakota, Oregon, and South Carolina, Wisconsin, Wyoming, and the District of Columbia have not received approval. South Dakota had already announced they're not applying for the assistance to FEMA. And FEMA estimated, and this is the first come, first serve. If your state didn't go to get approval, you don't get it. If there is no more money, there is no more money. And Iowa already got approval on August 14. So according to the workforce website, that benefit should start at the last week of August. So right now it should start. So folks, if you needed unemployment insurance benefit and you know that you should start applying, $400 should be there. And there is another thing preventing you from getting it. I will explain it in the next slides, but I want you to understand that the FEMA, if there is no weather related or other disasters, and if less state applies for it, the unemployment, this $300 would last about 4 to 5 weeks. I'm not making it up. This is a FEMA statement. So in other words, what we are getting in the state probably will last the person for 4 or 5 weeks, just about a month. And I know the winter months is coming, and there's a little bit of worry because our cases raise up in the state of Iowa, and we had over 2,000 cases in one day, and not something to be to not be thinking, right? And I promised I'm not getting into politics in this webinar. I'm just telling you the truth. And who is eligible to get the $400? The people who applied for unemployment benefit, and you had unemployment benefit before and you're still not getting a job, you are qualifying. You don't have to reapply, you're automatically qualified. However, there is one situation that you will not really qualify is right here. Workers must get at least $100 a week in unemployment benefits to be eligible for additional jobless aid, which is the $300. So in other words, let's say if you only got a minimum weekly unemployment benefit in Iowa state is $87, okay, a week. If you get $87 a week, you don't qualify. And the minimum unemployment benefit, it is a function of state unemployment law. It is not something can be changed overnight. It is the legislature decide that's a minimum unemployment benefit a week. So in Iowa is 87, and in Hawaii, I read something says $5. So that gives you an idea. This is the state will decide on that, whether you will qualify or not. But the executive order says, if it is not over $100 per week, you don't qualify for the $300. You can imagine what people will fall will be left out are the people who make very little income and barely qualified for some unemployment benefit. They won't qualify for the other $300. So this is related to one item of the executive order. The next one is evictions. And I just, it just out of blue, I have all these teary eyes on my slides. And, it doesn't sound like it's a positive thing, but let's see what they are. The eviction suspension for properties are linked to the federal housing financing that was included in the CARES Act. So in CARES Act, it was extended all the way to the end of July. So after that, that expired. No more forced suspension. So eviction will happen. The action will take place because CARES Act says don't do anything until the end of July, and now that is gone. The executive order did not extend the suspension. Instead, the order only suggested that executive branch of officials, those White House folks, to think about possible solutions to evictions during this pandemic time, to think about. And while they're thinking about us, and their small business got thrown out of their location already, while they're thinking about us, their people already left their home because they can't afford the mortgage, the payment. So that thinking is really costing a lot of pain in the low-income community, in the small business world. No money was set aside for renters and homeowners, and the thinking has already been 21 days and counting. So this is the second executive order. Is here, has a good intention, no actions. The third, payroll taxes. Payroll tax is also is a number 3 in the executive order. Executive order deferred the due date for employees' Social Security withholding through December 31st. Did you hear me saying deferred? Not exempted, not written off, not gone. It is temporarily postponed to sometimes in the future. And that is a 6.2% where you lost in your paycheck, right? You made $100, but $6.20 was gone out of it because it was paid to Social Security. In this executive order, this is not about Medicare. It only talks about Social Security withholding. So that is 6.2%. It applies to worker whose wages is less than $4,000 on a bi-weekly basis. So that gives you $104,000 a year salary. So for example, if you make $60,000 a year in salary, 6.2% withholding for 4 months, right? Because executive order says from September all the way to December. So for that 4 months is $1,240. It is $310 per month. And then, sure, you got that into your pocket, you spend it, but you need to pay it back in 2021. And when and how to pay it back, there is no saying about it because the executive order only said don't have to withhold that for the employees, but didn't really say how that got paid back. So many questions are coming back on, right? And for example, and it is difficult for payroll company to implement. What do you want people like those large payroll processing firms, are they going to care about you with 2 employees? Oh, one of them didn't really want to be withheld with the 6.2%. That is just monstrous job for some large companies. So in this regard, if you work with a local CPA firm, you had your payroll person, you can see that person face to face, that is beneficial to you because now you can go in and talk. That can be done, but keep in mind as an employer, and you want to remember that if your employee is gone after December, and there's no saying about you are not liable for that payment, because if your employee cannot pay back that 6.2, social administration still want it, what are you going to do? Maybe you'll get a collection call. Maybe you'll be end up paying. And are you ready to give 6.2% salary increase to the employee, right? So this is where, as a small business owner, we want to think complete. And it is, remember, it's deferral. It's not exemption. So you have to pay it back. And it is going to be due after December 31st, 2020. And like I said, consider what happens to your employee, and what is your, what if your employee don't have anything to pay, even they work for you, but they're so struggling. Are you gonna take their paycheck down in January of 2021? What if that time pandemic is even worse, not better? Right? So those are the things you got to think about, and whose responsibility. So this payroll tax, I would say that it has a lot more work need to be done before this can be rolled out, and people are already thinking, in fact, and the payroll companies and large companies, they're already start thinking how to meet this executive order. And in my other videos, if you check on our YouTube channel, you will see I have a video that is talking about payroll taxes credit and deferral. Is a one video, but it's talk about the difference, talk about all the things that came out because of pandemic and the government is trying to do with payroll taxes. So that will give you a really good overview on this one, and please go there to look for more information. The last one in executive order is student loan payment. And in CARES Act, and it already said that they don't have to pay the student payment till September 30th, 2020. So this executive order extended that due date to December, very solid. It is clear, it is easy, and so that I don't think people have any problem to understand it, implement it. But the other three, like I said, you can be the judge and how things are rolling out, and I will continue to update you on that. So that's one big item we have. It is executive order update and a PPP update. And the PPP, very important. And the payroll protection program closed on August 8, 2020. And that was the same day the executive order was issued, but that day PPP is gone. And if you applied but wrongfully denied, our recommendation for you are two. You need to work with the bank representative to make sure that your loan application did go out before August 8. Okay, that date closed. I guess it go out on August 8 is as well. Okay, but you want to make sure that they did not accidentally forgot to submit your application. That's why you didn't get it. So you want to make sure that happened. And then you want to contact your senators and the congressmen and the congresswomen in your home district and to seek assistance from them. Because once that is closed, obviously they don't process new PPP application anymore. But what about the one that is still in the queue, but it wasn't processed for whatever reason? And this is right now the solution to it. I will continue update you because I know at least 3 small businesses qualified to get PPP but did not get it for whatever reason. So those are the people. I don't want you to sit back and waiting for the result. You need to pick up the phone and start talking to your senators. The simplified forgiveness process. There is a lot of noise about, oh, you know, we don't have to apply for a forgiveness loan anymore. We will be giving automatically. That rumor was not totally without a base. There was a proposal like that on the table, and it's called, that has a name, and the name of the act is Bipartisan Paycheck Protection Small Business Forgiveness Act. And is 4 days ago, Senator Kevin Kramer from North Dakota joined Oklahoma Senator James Lankford, and they jointly presented this act. The bill states that PPP loan under $150K to be forgiven with only 1-page declaration signature. So you don't need to do anything else, just sign and say it's owed you nothing but truth, and sign your name, and you are done. They're basing this proposed act on 3 facts. Number one, 85% of PPP loans are under 150K. 85% of PPP loan. Number two, and this 85% of PPP loan only represent 26% of the funds that was paid out to PPP recipients. So in other words, there's a lot of people who got funded more than 150K, and they are the one taking up the big portion of the money, and really they shouldn't be giving a too easy way out. They need to prove they're doing it right. So this simplified process is only qualified for those who are under 150K. And on top of that, the 2 senators also secured more than 200 trade groups to endorse the bill. Trade groups are the professionals, for example, the restaurant trade groups, and the energy trade groups, and CPA firms and the CPA Associations, those trade groups. Those are the trade groups. There are over 200 of them endorse the bill. So, as a senator from North Dakota, Kevin Kramer said, I hope it's Kevin Kramer, I don't remember his last name, but he said that is most likely should get accomplished. And I know he even went into the local restaurant to advocate for this act. So I'm hopeful that it might come through. And for that reason, some of our business owners actually was telling me that, well, Ying, I want to apply for forgiveness loan, but my bank told me that not yet time. When is time? I'm already used up my money. So the bank is dragging their feet for a good reason. They're hoping this bill will pass. And so what you need to do is to keep contact with your bank. Ask them when your application is, when they needed your application. And especially if you are under 150,000, you also have a good reason to sit around wait. But people with more than that amount on PPP should really go ahead, start working with the bank, because there's no bill sitting on the table to give you any relief. And so you might as well just get it done based on your timeline, okay? And then, on this particular one, I also want to say that if you happen to have a large PPP loan on hand and you want to use the proper forms to apply for it, right? The easy one you can use. Some people need to use the easy one, even though they have more than 150,000. They can still use the easy one. The easy one is called 3508 Easy, and that is for self-employed and the non-employee kind of business. And if you did not reduce your employee wages, and if you did not reduce your number of employees, and those are the qualifications you must have to use that easy form. The easy form is 3 pages. The real work is only on 1 page, half down. So there's probably total of 8 numbers you need to put in. That's about it. So easy form means easy. That 150,000 automatic forgiveness thing, and that of course is easier because it's only 1 page and only signature. But the easy form just has 1 form with numbers, the other one is signature, and the 3rd page is optional. So it is pretty straightforward. If you are over 150 and you are easy filer, and I would recommend you to go ahead and get that done because you don't need to sit around wait. However, there are people who are having employees, and they probably did reduce salaries and the number of employees. Those are the folks you are looking at the regular 3508. That is 5 pages with some worksheet, work schedule, and if you need assistance for doing that, you can look up Community CPA we are always there. And we're not even trying here to blow our horns and getting more businesses. That's not even our purpose. Our purpose is to make sure that people who know us will get through this process smoothly. And if I know you and I work on your book and you also gone through difficulties and getting confused, don't know when to do what, I consider that my job is not done. And we really care about the people who are with us, and especially we have this reputation. A lot of minority-owned, immigrant-owned businesses are here at Community CPA. We do speak 9 different languages, if you didn't know. And so you might be just one of those could speak home language at Community CPA. Now, I did the number 2 updates, the executive order, PPP. Now let's look at EIDL. EIDL loan, no new updates. And I am so bummed that there is no new update. But I do have important information still to share with you, because right now, on July 11, SBA announced that they no longer granting the advance. Remember that $10,000 advance? If you have 1 employee, you got $1,000, 2 employees, you got $2,000. And so that grant is no longer there. And so after July 11, if you apply, and you would only be eligible for the loan itself, there's no more advance. But what if you applied before July 11, but you didn't get it? Are you going to have the grants or you are not going to have the grants? Everything I read, everything my staff researched, didn't say that if you did not get approved by July 11, you would not have the grant. So it says that if you apply after July 11, you don't get it. So I believe if you put in your application before July 11, you will have the grant. And you just need to make sure that you get your loan properly approved. The grant is arriving. And now, couple emails and phone numbers I will give you. Customer service representatives available 7 days a week and 8 to 8 at this number. And I know when you call this number, I call this number so many times myself, for myself and for my client. And there is a long wait, and you finally get to a person. And I'll tell you that my personal experience, they're very not helpful, and they almost encourage me to pray to God so I will just get it. So it wasn't helpful. And when you call, you always can have a record for yourself, right? So you can write down when did you call, and you followed up on that. Then if you just got lucky and you want to request for the tier 2 representative to look at your case, and you have an email address, disaster customer service and at sba.gov, that is a regular address, and I want you to keep that address, and don't think that your email went there, nobody see it. And trust me, they do. Even if they didn't see it, they're accumulating your emails there, so they know when you send what. So make sure you have that email handy. You write every single time you call, you follow up with the email. And then if the issue gets complex and they're saying that, well, we have some information we cannot verify and we don't know, so you are denied. So what do they mean by information cannot be verified? But that is a very common citation on the denial letter saying that certain information were not able to be verified. I don't know what that is. But what I want you to do is to attach all of your information to that denial letter and send it back to this number, Massachusetts DO@sba.gov. And make sure that you follow up. And it's such a big system, it's such a big government, and you're only one teeny little business. And, whether you exist or not, it doesn't even matter. Never mind about knowing who you are. So it is your responsibility and not theirs to follow through. And if you are our client, it's our responsibility to follow through. So you want to do that. And don't forget your senators, your congressmen and women, and they are there to assist you, right? Don't forget, when they were running elections, they came to you, asked you to help, asked you to donate, and you probably did. I did, okay? So when I needed help, I'm not gonna be shy to ask for it. That should be who you are too. You will not be shy and pick up the phone, talk to them. Talk about your question, talk about your problem, and have them help. And they normally would work with you. And because right now, small businesses are the #1 priority for this country, for United States of America. All right, so this is EIDL loan. Remember, I was going to cover these things. I covered executive order, I covered PPP, and I covered EIDL loan. Let's go for the PPP. Let's go for the second round stimulus check. That sounds so exciting. A lot of people really love it, and they're thinking, oh wow, I got my 1,200. Now there's more help coming in. Of course it's needed. And we just had the case surge so badly here. And the winter's coming, flu season is here. The bar and some restaurants is closed again. So things are not looking up. And the second round stimulus check is needed for many people. And the update is no deal and no new development. And you know, this second round stimulus check can only come out when parties are get together to negotiate. And negotiation did not move much in the past few weeks because of the conventions. Now the convention are done, right? They're done. And so the Washington lawmakers now says that they're saying that it is now they will resume the second round of stimulus check talk. And with you know, the White House Chief of Staff Mark Meadows, and he said on Wednesday, this last Wednesday, and he was hopeful that both sides would reach a compromise on the legislation. And I know Nancy Pelosi on Thursday said that Democrats was willing to resume the negotiation. So it feels like, just feels like it will happen. And how does that happen? What's the detail? I just want you to know that don't assume you got your $1,200, you're gonna get another $1,200. Number one, you may not qualify because that rule may shift. They may be doing something different to give out the second round. And plus the amount might not be the same. So we don't know all the details, but the only thing I can say is the people, the Americans, a lot of Americans need the second round stimulus check. That's all we can say in terms of the lawmakers, the parties at White House. Let them figure it out. And we just know that there is a hope. They will negotiate. They will come through. And what I also want to say is there is one type of family and most likely will get the second round stimulus check. All the other categories and demographics may not, but this one has been pretty consistent, and it looks like it will come through, which is the family with more dependents. And that is something, if you read all these rumors, and that's pretty consistent. So I hope that something will come out for at least for families with many dependents, because those kids, those single mom and single dad, they need that second round stimulus check. So that is the update I have for all of you related to what's developing and in terms of small business owners. And obviously those are all related to you. You could be a single mom running a small business. You know that executive order and give you that unemployment benefit option. And why are you not looking into that, applying for it? and you know that the PPP was there one time. I hope that you applied for it, and knowing that it might be having a simplified, process to get forgiveness, that's a good news to that single mom business owner. And then you have EIDL loan. I hope that you applied before July 11, so you got that advance. And even if you didn't, you can still apply, and they're open till September 30th this year. So I hope that would be a big help for you. And then possible stimulus check coming your way because you have more children and you needed help, and you're a small business owner. Who knows, maybe you can even reopen your business. So hopefully these are news give you some hope and some realistic expectations. You know where to order my book on Amazon. You can come to the office to buy it as well. And I am on a national taxpayer advocacy panel, and it is an honor to be on it. And I also want to say that obviously when you look at anything on the internet, please do your own judgment and make sure that you understand what folks are talking about. You can always come back to our YouTube channel, Community CPA, to replay and to listen, to learn. We have over 100 videos on our channel, and we update our knowledge, and we share that with you, and on literally daily basis. And on Monday, that webinar is in Chinese, Wednesday is in Vietnamese, Friday is in Spanish, then Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday, here I am, Saturday, 3 p.m. And I want to talk to all of you to follow Community CPA on YouTube, and follow us on YouTube to get most current updated information, and subscribe to our channel, folks. And did you see that our channel looks like that? And you can see the videos, and I do produce short videos just addressing one specific matter. Sometimes that's really helpful. For example, is EIDL loan personally liable? And so things like how is the payroll deferral different from payroll taxes is all in our video bank. So you can go in and really dive into it and learning more for yourself. At this time, as much as you can rely on outside to give you the knowledge you needed, but really it is a job that you need to do that yourself. So this concludes my today's webinar, and I really hope that you enjoyed my webinar and learned a lot that you can learn. And give me comments and email our firm for your questions. And I really appreciate you're here, and I do care about your business, and I really want to see you succeed, survive, and thrive. Talk to you. Bye.